Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weischadle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weischadle. Doug, first off, congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide.
National champs, and a great game, by the way.
It was a very great game. I mean, I thought it was, the total was a little high, and I bet the under, and it actually hit the total.
Yeah, 76 is the one I bet on. So I don't know what you did.
I did
under.
76. I went under 76.
I did that, and I think everyone who did either over or under on that one is a push. So I know there was some lower and some higher in some of the books.
Well, the one I bet on, the sports book I used had the 76 total.
Yeah, it was another great weekend in sports. You had the national championship game Monday night, finishing up the entire sports weekend. But over the weekend, the first time we had 3 games for the 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, a total of 6 games on for Wild Card Weekend, which was actually kind of fun.
It was a very fun weekend, and also some alternative broadcasts were seen this weekend. I guess you had what they call it, the Betcast from ESPN.
I've heard it called the ESPN plus Betcast, the Megacast, whatever you want to call it. It was actually kind of interesting to see some of the screenshots being circulated by David Purdom, ESPN writer, and he's a member of their crew there. So it was actually kind of interesting to see the amount of information on the screen.
That might have been information overload, but the other. I guess you're calling it alternative broadcast. There was this weekend was the Nickelodeon broadcast, which I checked out, and I think we even tweeted some pictures from it.
I just wish they had the better of the games on that. I mean, they only had 3 touchdowns scored.
Yeah, they had the least entertaining game to broadcast, but I don't know. Some of the graphics were interesting.
Now, if they had the Browns Steelers game, that was scoring left and right. It probably would have been very interesting to see how they would have handled all the turnovers, too, what kind of graphics they would have thrown up. But, every time a touchdown was scored, they streamed slime out of all the different end zone pylons. Yeah. A lot of different character drawings on some of the other players. They even had some of the Nick at Night or Nickelodeon characters talking about what these some of the calls were. They had young Sheldon doing it.
I'd be very curious to see I guess they're going to analyze now if the game was a big hit with the kids. Did it attract more younger viewers? I would assume in the first half there's a curiosity factor. There's a curiosity factor for me, but I jumped in and
I just
kind of was interesting.
I have to admit, it was interesting to see people reporting on the NFL Nick site. During the game, they were asking how many receptions this guy was going to have, all that stuff. It was kind of fun to watch some of that stuff unfold, even though, quote unquote, they weren't doing any gambling with that site.
Yeah, no, I would guess they would, but it was a very interesting thing to check out. I mean, it was more interesting in the first quarter, and then you kind of the thrill for me wore off, and I went back to the Tony Romo version.
I watched the entire Nickelodeon broadcast.
Oh, did you really?
I did. I had to because I just wanted to see. Just in case some weird stuff happened during it, whether some of the stuff was going to, change.
I saw the first touchdown by the Saints and all the slime throwing out of the end zone. And, I checked it out, saw it, and, I moved on.
I hope they have more.
Yeah, why not? It's been a busy week in sports, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to Drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Well, here we are in the second full week in January, and we finally get to talk about New York mobile sports betting.
It's been a long time coming. I mean, we've had interviews throughout the year, and I think even 2 years ago, about the possibility of New York getting mobile sports betting, but it looks like it's a significant step closer to it.
I don't know if you can say it's a significant step.
It's a bigger step than they've taken before.
Well, we already have competing views.
Okay.
We have Governor Cuomo, who, as part of the State of the State for New York State, is now supporting the passage of mobile sports betting And he has proposed a model similar to what D.C. and Oregon have, where it's run by the lottery and it's only one actual operator running the mobile sports betting scene.
Well, I don't think a model like that makes a lot of sense. I mean, what fuels sports betting effectively, I think, is competition by a whole bunch of providers, and it makes for, it's better for the consumer. You have different, that brings the price lower for consumers, and when people think, what price are you talking about? Well, they're trying to compete with each other, so they give the best odds, they give the best things for customers to play on their site. So
it does cut out a lot of the competition, and it does really limit the choices for mobile sports bettors. People who don't want to go to the casinos to finish up registrations, all that stuff, gives it different price points, all that different situation in terms of.
You brought up something interesting. They're not going to have that crazy rule where you have to finish your registration.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Okay. Hopefully they don't have that crazy rule where people have to go to the sports book to finish their registration. Well, hopefully it's mobile registration.
Here's the situation in New York right now. After Cuomo introduced his one operator model, we have Senator Joe Adabo, who we've had on the show.
Yep, great guy.
And Assemblyman Gary Pretlow. They have introduced legislation that is an open and free market, sort of like what everybody else has other than D.C. and Oregon.
I mean, it's more based on the New Jersey model. Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to say New Jersey because it's based upon the generic model
everyone's using. The New Jersey, Pennsylvania kind of model?
The normal model everyone's using.
Okay, all right.
They have filed legislation that would allow 2 online brands for each of the state's 4 commercial casinos and 3 tribal casinos. So you're looking at, maybe 8 and then another 6. That's 14 mobile operators.
Great.
Tax revenue of 12% plus a 0.2% royalty fee on the handle, which is interesting. It makes it about 15% of a tax rate for mobile sports betting in the state of New York. And that's more in line with what the average is for all the other U.S. states.
I think it's great. It brings money into the state, and the state really needs it. So good for them.
It's about time that they're doing something like that. And as soon as Cuomo announced he was behind sports betting, you got to mention DraftKings because their stock went up 9% on the day of the announcement.
Oh, you're going to see a lot of stock go up if New York jumps into the online sports betting scene.
Yeah, no, you're going to see a lot of impact in a lot of different ways. And we can't talk New York without bringing up another state which seems to be stuck in neutral is Massachusetts.
I don't see them getting mobile sports betting anytime soon.
You might want
or sports betting.
You might want to hold off on saying that.
I don't know.
Now, at the end of the year, at the end of the legislative year, Massachusetts proceeded with their economic development bill after taking out all the sports betting provisions. And I understand that they wanted to get it passed because of what's going on with COVID and a lot of the other really the hard times that economically a lot of people are having in that state. But they took it out, and just recently in the past week here, and no one knows really what's going to happen with this, but a Senator Brendan Creighton, has introduced a new bill, or will be introducing a new bill that has a chance. And we'll see exactly what happens when he can introduce it. He's not saying he's going to introduce it right away, but sometime in 2021 he's going to be introducing it. And it's actually kind of an interesting bill with some interesting points to it. It's a $10 million application fee for all of the casinos and horse tracks that are eligible. It adds up to about $70 million if all of them get their licenses into the state coffers. Sports betting revenue will be taxed 15%. But the interesting thing, Charlie Baker, the governor of Massachusetts, his original sports betting bill would prevent betting on all collegiate athletics.
Even colleges outside of the state of Massachusetts.
All collegiate.
That's what he wants.
Creighton's bill, when he introduces it, will allow betting on collegiate athletics excluding Massachusetts schools.
Okay.
Similar to what Jersey has.
Yeah.
And Jersey's is a model that obviously is working like gangbusters, as I mispronounced that word there. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where these two states go. Again, there are hurdles in New York. There are a lot of hurdles in Massachusetts. But it'll be interesting to watch where each of these states go in 2021.
You know, the corporate home of DraftKings is Massachusetts.
Yes.
They have an office in Boston. They have a big office in Boston. And I'm shocked that Massachusetts is really dragging its feet on sports betting.
I wouldn't be surprised at some point you see DraftKings moving their headquarters.
No, I don't think so. They seem to be really dug in Massachusetts for some unknown reason, but whatever.
Probably a lot of tax breaks, incentives, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They're a tech company first and foremost, if you think about it, more so than anything. And Massachusetts does have good tax incentives for tech companies up there.
Sure.
Exit 2.
Okay, eSports during the pandemic of 2020, or the ongoing pandemic of 2020, which doesn't seem to have any soon end in sight here, eSports witnessed a huge growth.
Oh, it exploded. Yeah.
The industry itself had an explosion in terms of viewership, the games produced, the number of players playing it, the way some of the businesses have been operated, as well as some of the broadcasts.
I was amazed by the corporate deals they made throughout the year. It was just astounding, the money changing hands with regard to esports.
Well, while all that was happening, the one thing everyone has started to notice, the prize money has gone down.
Really?
The prize money has gone down for all of these esports events.
Okay.
If you look at the numbers, between 2018 and 2019, they had a 30% jump in the prize money, the prize amounts given to all these different events.
Okay.
And in 2019, the total was $211 million U.S. dollars, because there's a lot of these going on overseas.
Sure.
You have to convert it all to U.S. dollars. So $211 million in 2019. In 2020, they only had $65 million.
Interesting. Well, look, like I said, the deals they were making is incredible. I mean, I guess they're really looking further down. I mean, when this pandemic is over, I guess when these big events start happening again, I think you'll probably see a rise in the prize money. But behind the prize money and these business deals that they're making is just phenomenal.
Well, a lot of times,
I think they're setting themselves up for when, this pandemic is over, when everyone's vaccinated and everyone is out and about and close to normal as possible. I think
they've had a
increase.
69% drop in the prize amounts. And what I'm going to talk about here is the top 10.
The top
10 prize amounts in terms of the different tournaments.
All right.
The games. Counter-Strike Global Offense. Counter-Strike Global Offensive was the number one paying out tournament series.
All right.
$14.75 million. Doesn't sound like an awful lot, but if you think about it,
sounds like a lot to me.
For an esports tournament, that's for the entire year. So you're talking about smaller prizes stretched out through the season.
Oh, so this is a whole bunch of tournaments, and
yes.
This is their total. Okay,
yes.
All right.
Still
pretty good to me.
Yeah. Defense of the Ancients, $8.87 million. That was number 2.
Wait. What's it called?
Dota. Defense of the Ancients.
Okay, you say Dota like I should know what Dota means.
Well, I have in my notes Dota, so I know you're looking
Defense
at
of the Agents,
show prep package there,
and it's called Dota.
Yes.
Okay.
Dota 2.
Dota. Oh, excuse me.
This
Dota
is the second version of this game. $8.87 million. The third series here was League of Legends, which is the big one.
Sure.
$800 million. Fortnite came in fourth with 7.87. Call of Duty, 6.27 million in fifth place. Rainbow Siege 6, 5 million. Overwatch was seventh place with 4.36. PUBG, which is $4 million. That's number 8.
What's PUBG?
It's one of those battle royal
games
where you just shoot them up.
Okay.
You just jump in and just start shooting everything.
All right.
Rounding out was Rocket League. I always find that interesting to watch whenever I see that on TV, by the way.
Okay.
It's the soccer using cars where they can shoot the balls and everybody else, too.
Okay.
The one interesting thing, even though everyone suffered a loss this year 2020 compared to 2019, League of Legends suffered the least.
Huh.
In 2019, they had paid out $9 million total. This past year, they only had $8 million. So they really only dropped $1 million. Not much of a difference between each of these leagues here.
Well, for me anyway, League of Legends seems to be the one that's most visible. You know, I love playing on Monkey Knife Fight, and they have a League of Legends section. I mean, I don't play it because I don't know it too well, and I wouldn't know who to pick or what to do or something like that. But they do have a section on League of Legends where you can, like a fantasy sports kind of thing for League of Legends. So that's when I hear League of Legends, that's what I think of. That's the one in front of me the most.
Well, the reason League of Legends didn't suffer the most is because the prize money is not the important part of the tournament series. Everyone plays for the trophy.
Oh, okay.
The trophy is more important than the money.
Well, that's nice to hear.
I know. It's a little different
it's nice
attitude
to hear in this
towards
materialistic world that they prize the trophy
it's more
than the money.
bragging rights because there's a lot more people watching the streams for League of Legends than these other ones.
Okay.
So there's more revenue opportunities from the streams more so than the tournaments, and everyone knows that in the League of Legends leagues.
Okay.
Exit 3.
Okay, we're going to be coming up on the NCAA's March Madness pretty soon.
Yeah.
So we are going to be experiencing not only March Madness in a bubble, we're going to be experiencing the NCAA's Mask Madness.
Mask Madness. Is that a slogan they're going to use? Or
It is a trademark they have filed.
They filed a trademark. Well, now we know what their marketing plans are.
Well, they filed a trademark.
Which is good, by the way. Very good.
On December 23rd for face coverings, knit face masks, and a promotion and public awareness campaign of wearing masks.
Good for them.
Now, what they're doing with this year's March Madness, because of the pandemic, they're having basically a bubble tournament. They're going to be in Indiana, and they had already scheduled the Final Four to be in Indianapolis. So what they're doing is they're moving the entire series, all 4 or 5 rounds of the March Madness tournament into one area in the country, in Indiana. Different parts of Indiana, but they're going to be in Indiana only. Mm-hmm. So what they're going to be doing, they have made a deal with the different sites, and they're going to be distributing through the mayor's offices in each of the host cities across Indiana thousands upon thousands of masks.
Great. Good.
They're going to be doing local testing as well for people who are going to be attending the bubble events. Mm-hmm. I think they have to.
Sure. I mean, I'm actually surprised they're having, spectators, but I guess
they're going to be having some spectators.
I'm assuming
right now the plan is to have spectators.
I would guess that number is kind of low, but it's a nice move into normalcy. I got to tell you, I can't believe we're talking about March Madness because I remember the last March Madness. We were planning on checking it out in Atlantic City, and what happened? The pandemic. So that was right around the pandemic.
Yep. It also ruined St. Patrick's Day, too.
Yeah, ruined St. Patrick's Day and ruined March Madness, but you know what? Yeah, you have to do what you have to do to stay safe.
Well, they're going to have NCAA branded masks handed out for March Madness.
Good.
And the other half of our trademark exit here, sports trademark exit, it deals with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has scored one of his first victories in China, trademark-wise.
Okay.
He has been suing this one company in China since 2012.
All right.
There's been about 80 lawsuits filed by Jordan and his legal team.
Wow.
Against his company, and I'm going to say it because this is how important it is. The Jordan Sports Company.
Wow.
Their name is actually Jordan in Chinese.
Oh, okay.
So they have had trademarked brands.
I'm assuming
on the market.
In the case, that's Exhibit A.
Well, they've had the trademark for their name on their products, and what Jordan has been doing is not only trying to get the trademarks invalidated, he's also been trying to get them to stop associating it with him.
Mm-hmm.
So this last court case, he made a little headway. He got a little win here. He was actually awarded $46,000 for emotional damages and $7,600 for legal expenses incurred in this latest lawsuit.
Doesn't sound like much if you're over the years if they're using it.
And he still can't invalidate their trademarks.
Wow. Okay.
See, what's going on here is Chinese trademark law is interesting here. If a registered trademark is more than 5 years old, you can't invalidate it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had these marks using Jordan or the Chinese symbols for Jordan for their name and all that for the last over 2 decades.
Wow. Okay.
So he can't invalidate the marks. He has been able to stop them from putting Jordan everywhere, and they have to have a campaign advertising-wise wherever they actually promote these products. They have to say they're not associated with Michael Jordan now.
Okay.
But he still does not have the rights to his own name in China.
Weird. Okay.
It's a very strange trademark situation, but again, Chinese law, if it's over 5 years old, you can't invalidate a trademark that's registered with the state. With the country.
I'm glad he made some headway against him.
He's still got other lawsuits going with him.
Well, we'll see how that turns out.
Yep, this is the first win, really.
Good.
Exit 4.
All right, in today's last exit, we're going to talk a little heart monitoring.
Okay, all right.
The PGA Tour has, I don't want to say entered into a new deal. They've expanded their deal with this fitness tracker company, Whoop.
Oh, wow.
WHOOP.
So are they going to, like, I want to say hook up all their PGA players? Are we going to see their heart and
Well, they've already had this deal in
respiration
place. They've had this deal in place already.
So what can we see out of this deal? I mean, the consumer. What are we going to see with regard to
the viewer?
PGA? Yeah, the viewer. I mean,
Okay.
what's something special are we going to see if we watch the PGA Tour? How are we going to know about Whoop and what's going on?
Well, besides the incredible amount of signage they're going to have
And
on
commercials.
these-
I mean,
yes.
like I said, I was kind of half joking, but are we going to see their respiration and their blood pressure and things
What
like
this
that?
deal is expanding upon, because this previous season, the PGA Tour handed out Whoop heart rate bands, monitors.
Okay.
Every player has had one.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, at the RBC Heritage, remember when the one guy had to go get tested and then had to leave the tournament because he tested positive coronavirus?
Sure.
The band that Whoop provided him actually picked up the change in his vitals.
Wow, really?
That's what caused the test and then the positive test, and it got him out of the tournament.
Wow. Hey, they should do this for every sport now.
Well, Whoop
Good for Whoop.
Whoop has been doing this for the last year. As a matter of fact, they have given 1,000 straps to players, caddies, essential personnel for the PGA Tour, the Corn Ferry Tour, and PGA Tour Champions events.
Wow. Okay.
So what we're going to be doing here this season, coming up, now that this expanded deal for Whoop has happened, they are going to be creating the ability to watch the players' heart rates during crucial moments of each match.
I mean,
They're
doctors are not the viewers at home.
The players. Yeah, the players are, and they're going to be able to show in the content their heart rates.
You mean me as a viewer sitting watching TV? I was half joking about that.
Depends on whether or not the TV broadcast wants to do that, but they are creating video content which shows the players' heart rates at crucial moments.
Well, I am
whether it's on the PGA Tour website.
I am assuming. Let me that dives into the realm of health and that kind of thing.
They're going to have to do some privacy issues.
Yeah, I'm assuming the players will have to sign off on that.
Well, a lot of them already have because they're wearing them.
Okay.
And they're monitoring them anyway. Whether or not they want them broadcast
Well,
is
that's
a
what I
whole
mean.
different issue.
They're going to have to sign off on that if they want the viewers to see what their heart rate is.
And also there's going to probably be some agreements as to where they can show it, whether it's on the PGA Tour website, whether it's on the TV broadcast, whether it's in the betting apps.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't even imagine if betting apps will carry it. It'd be strange for that.
I wouldn't be surprised at some point you will be seeing that.
That's the privacy issues are going to be jumping all over the place with that one. But
so it'll be interesting. I mean, Whoop is already into the tour and everything else, so it's a matter of just expanding. And actually, I think it's actually a nice little feature.
I mean, just for the health of the athletes. I'm not even talking about broadcasting it to the people watching at home, but just for the health of the athletes, I think it's great. I think what they're doing is great, especially
it already worked once
in this pandemic age. I think it's great that you have this early warning sign. So
good
for Whoop.
Tour lawyers, get ready with those release forms.
Yeah. And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
And stick around, because later on we're going to have our NFL picks. We're going to have the Turnpike Sports book report, and we're going to have a By the Numbers segment. Is this our first one of the year? Our first By the Numbers segment
yes,
of the
it is.
year? Okay, well, hey, good stuff coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Attention seniors with Medicare. This is an important announcement. Did you know you may qualify for a monthly Social Security rebate? Did you know you may qualify for a $0 monthly premium? That's right. You may qualify to get $135 added back to your Social Security check each month. Just call the Medicare benefits line to get your options. It's a free call. You may also qualify for $0 premiums, dental coverage, vision coverage, hearing coverage, and prescription drug coverage. With this type of plan, you don't need Medicare supplement insurance. Call now, because you deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits, including a rebate to your Social Security check each month. Agents are standing by with free information regarding Medicare benefits. It's a free call with no obligation, but it could mean big savings for you. Call the Medicare benefits line now to see if you're eligible for a Social Security rebate.
Call 800-574-6770. 800-574-6770.
We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to beangenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code. And By the Numbers is sponsored by Play Sugar House Online Casino and Sportsbook in New Jersey. Sign up at playsugarhouse.com/pike and get a first deposit match of up to $250. Enjoy the casino experience online. Play Sugar House offers over 400 games online, slots, table games, hey, even bingo. It's like being in a casino without leaving your home. That's playsugarhouse.com/pike to get your first deposit match of up to $250 today. Must be 21 years or older and physically present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 800gambler.org.
And in our first Turnpike Sports By the Numbers of the year, we have 3 entries.
Okay. And I'll get them wrong, every one of them. Tell everyone how this works.
I always throw out a number for Dave to either guess upon or actually just common sense sometimes allows you to figure out what I'm talking about.
Well, here's a spoiler alert. I get them wrong constantly. You're going to throw me out a number. I'm not even going to know what it is. I'll go and I'll probably get the ballpark. What you're saying to me, but I usually get them wrong.
Well, what happens is I throw out the number, and then we talk about what the number is, what it means, what it affects, whatever the story is behind the number. And this time we're going to start off with the number 5 billion, and it has nothing to do with the amount of burgers McDonald's has sold.
Yeah, 5 billion. It's not a number like that. It's either money or a population or viewership. So that's as close as I'm going to get to that. So
it's money.
It's money. All right, there you go. See, hey, look at it. It was a part of my logic.
It is the target amount the NBA thinks they can get for two expansion franchise teams.
Ooh, okay.
$2.5 billion each.
Wow. All right.
Now,
when you're talking about franchise, do they have cities in mind or places involved?
They've got a couple of them, but right now Las Vegas is actually one of them.
Makes sense. I mean, they have a hockey team, they have an NFL team,
and the other one is as a front runner right now is Seattle, which just got a new hockey team.
Yeah, I love that idea. Seattle Supersonics. I know. Yeah, the X-Man, Xavier. What was it?
Xavier McDaniel.
Yeah, Xavier McDaniel.
Well, what's happening is because of the pandemic and the fact that the NBA is playing in front of no fans, they're losing a lot of money.
So the NBA is figuring if they're
on the verge here.
Add 2 more franchises, they'll actually make some money, I guess, in the TV contracts?
League estimates for this year, if they don't start having fans in the stands, and I know Indiana has already said they're going to have some fans already, and a couple other teams are also looking at it, they're on the verge of losing $4 billion for this season alone. And they have already increased the amount teams can borrow from the league. They have $1.2 billion available for the teams to borrow to actually maintain their operations. So they figure when they borrow the $1.2 billion from the league, each team was available to get $30 million more dollars for the season to operate. Under this deal, if they can actually get this done, get the $5 billion in, each team is going to share in $167 million.
Wow.
That's the franchise share that each existing team gets from the new franchises that come in. So this is a way to combat the loss of revenue that they are experiencing because of the pandemic, and they're continuing to experience. And this is going to be, like I said, Seattle, Las Vegas. There's a bunch of other cities around, but
I like the idea of Seattle, Las Vegas.
Those two cities are actually growing their sports franchises. They got the Vegas Golden Knights now in Vegas. It would be interesting to see what the team name would be, because the Las Vegas Aces already exist in the WNBA.
Yeah, you mean will they have a gambling theme to them?
I'm thinking maybe. I don't know. I don't know what Seattle would do. There's no other mythical octopi that they could actually create a team for. But
I like the choice of these two cities. I mean, hopefully they're picked because Seattle has a track record with a great basketball team, and they have a fan base there for basketball. And Las Vegas is an emerging sports city, believe it or not. Well, so I like the choices.
Well, the last time the NBA added a franchise was 2004. Michael Jordan with the Charlotte Bobcats.
Okay,
that cost him $300 million. Before that, the two teams that were added in 1995, really since 1995 there's only been 3 new teams. But in 1995, the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies came into existence. Each one cost $125 million as a franchise.
And Vancouver moved
to Memphis.
Yep.
But Toronto's still there. Charlotte Bobcats are still there. Seattle, which was a great basketball town, might be on the verge of getting a new basketball team. But I don't know if they're going to be able to call it the Supersonics. I wonder if they are going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. We always talk about trademarks on this show. I'm curious to see who still owns that trademark.
Well, the NBA still owns it.
The NBA still owns it. Yes. So if they wanted to be the Seattle Supersonics,
it'd be up to the NBA.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
So, and also be up to the ownership. If the ownership wants that brand, they can work something out to actually bring it back. But again, it's really up to the ownership. If they don't want that kind of history to it, they can come up with their own name.
Okay.
Next number, 4.
4.
We went from about $5 billion down to 4.
4? No,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm not even going to make a guess at that one. I don't even know.
Well, this could mean a couple different things.
Okay.
For the National Hockey League this upcoming season, they've got 4 realigned divisions.
All right.
Because of the coronavirus shortened season that they're having. And they've gotten 4 sponsors for their divisions.
And I guess these divisions will be named after the sponsors of those divisions, right?
Right.
Okay.
The NHL's All-Canadian division will now be known as the Scotia NHL North Division because they have a deal with financial services firm Scotiabank.
All right.
The West Division will be the Honda West.
All right.
I think you know.
Yeah, I know Honda.
Yep.
Okay.
Discover will be the sponsor for the Central Division. And Mass Mutual will be the sponsor for the Eastern Division.
All right.
This is the first time. This also could. I was thinking about this as the number to use for this. It's the first time in 103 years that they're going to have sponsors for their divisions. They've never had that before.
Wow. Okay.
So they're
interesting.
breaking some new ground with that as well.
I wonder if this brings in enough money. Will they continue to do this?
Well, they have seen a revenue drop.
This is only for this year, right?
Yeah, maybe if it works, they're going to maybe keep it. They're considering it because they've also now allowed helmet sponsors, and we're starting to see who the helmet sponsors are. And a lot of these are, they're figuring these are make goods for the existing sponsors because they're losing so much money.
Sure.
There's no revenue coming in.
Sure.
No fans, that sort of stuff. So, I mean, they're down revenue-wise 14% to $4.4 billion from $4.4 billion during the 2019-2020 campaign.
Okay.
So they've lost money. This is a way of making good to the sponsors as well as bringing in revenue to the league. Last number for this week is 15.
15.
I'm all over the place with these
I don't
numbers.
know. Wow, that's I have no idea.
That was the remaining stake left in the New York Islanders. The New York Hockey Holdings Club, the organization that actually owned 85% of the Islanders, has just bought the remaining 15% after Charles Wang, who owned that 15%, passed away recently.
Oh, okay.
So they bought the remaining 15%, and they are going to carry on his legacy by opening up a new stadium.
All right.
That was his goal. When he bought 15% of the Islanders, he wanted to make a new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They are currently playing in the Barclays Center.
Okay.
But they will be moving back out to Long Island, and they will be playing at the UBS Arena at Belmont Park.
Well, that's great.
In honor of Charles Wang.
Well, that's
and his
nice
family.
that they're honoring Charles Wang and his family. I think that's a great move.
And that's our 3 numbers for the Behind the Numbers this week. And hopefully we have some more of these down there. We don't do these enough because they're kind of interesting little segments.
And stick around. Our all-important NFL picks are all important to us because we're keeping track of them. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-297-9788. 800-297-9788.
Now that we're home more than ever, we need to feel safe. Call it a sign of the times or the world we now live in. What do you want to keep safe? The people in your life? What do you want to protect? Your possessions, the things that belong to you, the things that you've worked hard for. Wouldn't it be nice to have tested, trusted 24/7 protection? Peace of mind, real protection that's always there for you and your whole family? Well, now you can with one of our state-of-the-art home security systems. Everyone thinks their home is safe until the unexpected happens. Help protect your home and loved ones today with the affordable next generation in home security. To help keep your family and property safe, call 1-800-520-4068 now. Representatives are standing by to assist you. That's 1-800-250-4068. 1-800-520-4068.
The Turnpike Sports Pro Pick segment is brought to you by William Hill Sportsbook. William Hill has been taking sports wagers for over 86 years, so when you're ready to make things more interesting, bet with America's #1 sportsbook. And now William Hill has a brand new offer for new customers. Head on over to WilliamHill.com or download the William Hill app on your mobile device. Sign up with promo code PIKERF and get a risk-free bet up to $500. That's promo code PIKERF, where the RF means risk-free. William Hill Online Sportsbooks. Place your wagers and let's make it interesting.
Okay, this is the second weekend of the playoffs for the Pro Pick segment. You did great during the regular season.
I'm really doing terrible in the playoffs.
We both did terrible the wild card weekend.
I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We both went 0-3, and as always, we've got 4 games this weekend. So what we're going to be doing is still doing 3 games. We're going to pick 3, whether it's by point spread or total. We'll put these up on the Turnpike Sports blog where everyone can comment on them. Just head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you'll see the picks up there about an hour or so after the show publishes. Feel free to comment on them on the blog itself. Email us, info@turnpikesportsradio.com, or even hit us up on social media at Turnpike Sports on Facebook and Twitter, and at Turnpike Sports Radio on Instagram. Like I said, you went 0-3, I went 0-3. You went first last week, so let me go first this time.
And I'm sure there's going to be some overlap in games. There's only 4 of them this week. Yeah, so
hopefully the picks aren't the same. Maybe we get some separation somewhere.
I hope not.
My first game is Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers.
Mine too.
Green Bay is favored by 6.5, and there's an over-under of 45.5. This game actually opened up on Monday at 7. And now it's gone down to 6.5.
Okay.
And also it was a 46 total, and now it's 45.5 when we're taping this.
Yeah.
I was actually really enjoying watching the Rams defense against Seattle.
Very impressive.
Even after Aaron Donald left with a rib injury, which is something to watch in this game.
Yeah.
And also another thing to watch in this game is also Jared Goff, whether or not he comes back in. Or I don't know if he's starting yet or not, but if he comes in, watch that thumb again. It's surgically repaired. It wasn't really 100% when he was playing.
It's going to be an issue this week, I think. Yeah.
Especially in the cold in Green Bay.
Sure.
But all that being said, you have Green Bay coming off their playoff bye. They were the only one in the NFC that got the bye this year because of the new rules for the COVID league. And they're rested. They should have had time to watch some of this film that the defense did to Russell Wilson, the Seattle Seahawks offense. They were in the backfield more than the running backs for Seattle.
Yeah, yeah.
Green Bay it's interesting. Green Bay is 4-2 straight up and against the spread in the playoffs since Aaron Rodgers became quarterback.
Okay.
I'm not expecting a lot of points here, at least by L.A. in Green Bay. But I think what you're going to see is the Packers being ready for this defense that's really, really fast. And you're going to see Aaron Rodgers get the ball out real quick, like he always does anyway, but even quicker possibly. And I'm going with Green Bay with the 6 and laying the points.
I love your analysis. The one thing I disagree with, I think that over-under is very low. I think it's actually too low. And Rams have a great defense, but, you have to figure out the injury to Donald. And, you have to I think the Packers are really going to study it. And I think the Packers are a much better team. I mean, the Packers haven't lost a game since November 22nd and have won 5 straight home games. And, I mean, in their last 5 home games, they've gone over their total. So they can certainly put the points on the board. And like I said, I think this total is a little low that the sportsbooks put out, 45.5 right now as we're talking. I think this game is going to go over.
See, I think you're right in one respect because the over-under is a little low. Yeah. But I don't know about the Rams scoring. I can see 28-3, 28-10 in the cold in Green Bay.
The Rams have a very good running game, and they're going to need that running game, especially in the cold weather, and I think they can score a lot through their running backs. So okay. I think it's going to go over.
Well, my next game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 3, and there's an over-under of 52. This is actually a battle not only between the two oldest quarterbacks. I think it was, 85 years old total age?
Yeah.
And given Brady's little tweet there about the History Channel
These
inspired
are two guys
image.
that have seen everything the NFL playoffs has to offer. And, it's just going to be a great game.
But I think this is going to come down to the defenses. I really think you have 2 of the best defenses in the playoffs here right now, especially after watching what the Saints defense did to the Bears. The Bears don't have a really incredible
offense.
Yeah, but still, to limit them to scoring a last-second touchdown at the end of a game, it's just one of those things where I was really impressed with that Saints defense.
By the way, I went with Chicago last week at plus 11. All right?
That new rule screwed everybody up.
I would have had a push if they kicked the extra point on that last play. So, I saw him catch the touchdown and then run off the field. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What about the extra point and my push? So I ended up losing that game.
Well, that's the NFL changing the rules without telling anybody. But obviously everyone knew about it.
Apparently, not if you look at Twitter. Apparently the rule change was in 2018 because enough people on Twitter were saying what I'm saying, what happened to the extra point. So apparently that rule changed in 2018 where they don't have to go for the extra point or the 2-point conversion.
Well, as you were saying in the last game you analyzed, the total was too low for you. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this total's too high, 52. If you look at what they did, these teams played each other twice in the regular season. In week 1, they went over the 48.5 point total. But in week 9, when they were in Tampa, they went under 51. And also, if you look at the under for New Orleans here, the under is 4-2 in New Orleans' last 6 home games. Mm-hmm. I really think you're going to see the offenses score, but not as much as people think. I think the defenses are going to control this game more than anything. That's why I'm doing the under 52.
I agree with you. I didn't even touch the total on this game, but I think this is going to be a very, very close game. I mean, Brady has a ton of offensive weapons at his disposal. And get this, in the last 5 games, they're 3-1-1 against the spread, and I think that trend's going to continue. I'm taking the underdog Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and by the way, I think they will pull off a win this week. So I'm going with the underdog Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, if you'll excuse this non-analytic analysis here, I actually prefer either of those quarterbacks advancing, so I have no pick or choose there. That's why I went with the over-under. I really, I'd like to see both of them go, but that can't happen this year.
Yep.
My last game, the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills are favored by 1.5. The over-under is 50.
You know what? We picked all 3 games the same. We chose all 3 games.
That's
you know
the
why?
way it works in
you
the
know
playoffs.
why? Because the other game was the Chiefs and the Browns were plus 10. You know what? I mean, they're not going to be my official pick, but I'm thinking, I'm going to throw some money on the Browns anyway because they're plus 10. Really?
I don't know. I have a feeling that
look, Kansas
that
City's
plus 10
going
is
to win.
going to go to plus 11, plus 12.
Kansas City's going to win, but hopefully the Browns can keep it close. But that's not my official pick.
I'm very curious to see what game time spread that's going to be.
Right. But that's why I stayed away from that game. So.
I just didn't like that game, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what Browns team is going to show up.
Yeah, right. The one that lost to the Jets or the one that beat the Steelers. So who knows?
Well, going back to the Ravens-Bills game, I actually wasn't expecting the Titans to be dominated by the Ravens like they were. Lamar Jackson actually seemed to find a little groove back in running the ball. That defense of the Ravens was actually outstanding against the Titans offense. I think they held Derrick Henry to 40 yards or something, maybe even lower than that. But the Bills, on the other hand, I love watching the Bills. That offense is so much fun to watch, and it's about time they got back to that Jim Kelly style, just gunslinger offense.
The one thing I'm worried about the Bills is they make one stupid play that could cost them the game. They did it last year, and they
did it last week.
They almost did it last week with that sack and fumble from
with Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
You got to expect that ball to come out.
Oh my God, he tries too hard to make things happen. Sometimes an incomplete pass is a good thing.
I just think I said it right before it happened that we haven't seen a Josh Allen fumble yet, and right off the bat, there's what happened.
Fumble,
but it's just so much fun. And the one difference I noticed between Buffalo this year and Buffalo last year, when stuff like that happens, where it's really really bad for the team, the next play they go right after it and they actually start moving ahead again. And I actually love that resilience of the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games overall, and the home team in this series between the Ravens and Bills, the home team is 6-2 against the spread. I love the fact that it's a 1.5 point spread here because it's going to be a very close game, I think, and I'm going with the Bills and laying the points.
I'm doing the exact same thing, using that exact same analysis. I got one other thing too. The Bills are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games. And they're playing home, so I've seen this line hover between -2 and -1.5 early in the week, and I'm very curious to see how the line moves up until game time.
It opened, and we use William Hill's lines. It opened at William Hill on Monday at 2.5.
Okay, yeah. So right now we're talking. It's -1.5. So
wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to 1 by game time.
Like I said, I'm jumping on it now. I'm very curious to see how it moves. I wonder if it goes up, I wonder if it go down. Who knows? But I'm taking it at the Bills at -1.5.
All right, let's recap my 3 games. I picked Green Bay with the laying the points 6.5. I went with the under 52 in the Tampa Bay New Orleans game, and I went with the Bills laying the 1.5 against the Ravens.
All right, I went with the over 45.5 in the Rams-Packers game. I took the underdog Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 3-point underdogs against the New Orleans Saints. And I'm taking the home field Buffalo Bills at -1.5 against the Baltimore Ravens, and should be interesting to watch.
And these picks will be put up on the Turnpike Sports blog after the show is released. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button, and you'll see the picks there. Comment on them there. Email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Social media at Turnpike Sports on Facebook and Twitter, at Turnpike Sports Radio on Instagram.
The book report's coming up next, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Sometimes life is wonderful. and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. To get the coverage you need, call the number on the screen now.
Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casinos now, your favorite sports book available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, in this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report, we're going to be talking about a state revenue record.
More records. Every week there's a record.
Every week, yeah. It's like a broken record.
That's how amazing sports betting is to the states and the businesses and the coffers of the state. You know, they're breaking records every month.
Well, we also got some deals to talk about.
Okay.
Some launches and relaunches, given what's going on in Iowa there. And also some legislation.
Okay.
We may not get to all of these in the time allotted here, but
it's in our blog, right?
It'll be on our blog.
All right.
Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you'll see these stories that we talk about, as well as other stories that we haven't talked about listed in that blog, and you can read the news and notes from there, too, as well. We're going to start off in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
I'll tell you, ever since they dropped that in-person registration, they have done wonders for the sports betting industry there.
Rhode Island is interesting. I mean, before the pandemic, we were down in Rhode Island and we were checking out the sports books. They have a great operation there, and I'm glad the online is working out well too for them.
Well, again, it's a matter of dropping that in-person registration during the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, after the pandemic, they get rid of that online, or get rid of the in-person registration requirement.
Rhode Island has gotten rid of it.
Good.
They will not have it back.
Good.
Now, other states,
who knows?
Whatever. It's up to them. But Rhode Island had a handle of $35.1 million in November. That's up 11% from November of last year. That's not the record.
Mm-hmm.
Their record came in revenue. They had collected $6.3 million in revenue. That's almost $2 million more than the record they had in October. And it's up 133% from November of last year.
Wow.
Yep. So they have set another revenue record. They are almost like, in terms of revenue, they're setting records over and over again, just like every other market in certain areas. I know Pennsylvania had some kind of weird situation where they didn't grow in certain areas, but Rhode Island is actually growing at a good rate for the state itself. And again, I don't know if that's going to be affected if Connecticut and Massachusetts and New York ever pass sports betting. But Rhode Island is doing very well. Their mobile sports book, their mobile sports books in the state recorded $15.7 million handle and $2.6 million in revenue. So the state is collecting on both ends, retail and online, and they're doing extremely well in this situation. We've got an interesting situation developing in Tennessee.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if I'm in favor of it or against it, but it'll be interesting to see the long-term effects of this. The Tennessee sports betting regulators have given permission for Action 24/7 to also offer, through their sister company, Advanced Financial, to offer loans so people can use those loans to fund their sportsbook accounts.
Interesting. Okay.
It'll be interesting to see whether or not it really does anything. But again, you're talking about payday loans in Tennessee here, and according to the paperwork that you see in these loans that are being offered, it's a 279% interest rate.
Well, I mean, we'll see how this goes, and I'm sure if this works out and it's a big success, you'll see this around the country probably.
Well, because most states require you to have a bank account to sign up. Most sportsbook operators, you have to have a bank account.
Okay.
This is a way of getting around a bank account.
All right.
If you don't have a bank account, you get this loan based upon your checks or however you do it, your W-2s, and you get your loan and you fund it through the loan. And I guess if you're a successful sports bettor, it's not going to be a problem. You just use your winnings to pay the loan.
Well, and again, Tennessee's a very interesting state where they have no casinos and everything regarding sports books are online. So it's an interesting state to begin with. It's even more interesting now with this news story. So
Yep.
I'm following Tennessee closely. I'm very interested in Tennessee, and I love the whole idea about online only sports books.
It'll be interesting to see if any other of these operators in Tennessee follow this lead and see exactly whether or not they could do this.
Yeah.
I mean, we right now have Churchill Downs. They just got approval to launch in Tennessee, so the market's expanding. There's 3 more operators that are pending: William Hill, WinBet, and Zen Sports.
Yep.
Zen Sports is interesting because they've applied for the sports betting operating license. They offer both kinds. They have the regular the regular online sportsbook operations as compared to everybody else, but they also offer that peer-to-peer marketplace betting.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to do.
There's a lot of confusion.
Yeah,
as to
well, I think we just had the CEO of Zen Sports. I think they're looking for a traditional sports betting license,
Right.
And when it comes to the peer-to-peer or even the cryptocurrency type stuff regarding sportsbooks, I think that might be further down the road to see how the state reacts to everything and the regulators decide on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of education in terms of what a peer-to-peer marketplace looks like versus a traditional sports betting marketplace looks like. But again, they're applying for the regular sports betting. If they get it, they get it, and then if they get the peer-to-peer down the road, that's when they can launch that. But right now, they're applying for a regular sports betting license.
That's why Tennessee's so interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's one of those cutting-edge states when it comes to sports betting.
Well, moving over to Virginia, which hasn't launched yet. They are expecting to be able to launch pretty soon. They have received 25 applications for 12 available licenses, maybe in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Great. Good.
We'll see Virginia's sports betting industry launch. And I know one of your favorite sports to bet on is table tennis.
Yeah.
Indiana has just crafted something I don't even know anything about, even less than I knew about table tennis. Handball.
Now, you say handball. Is this, I remember handball as a kid, you a brick wall and you have a tennis ball and you slap it, you hit it with your hand.
They have courts for this.
There's an actual courts.
Yes.
I have not seen
that much. I know about
handball. Is it like racquetball without the rackets? Is that what we're talking about, or
it's something like that? It's just
all right. I got to check out handball because I'm talking about. I don't know anything about it. I've never seen it on TV. I've never seen it up close.
Well, we will be seeing it soon, probably, because, like I said, Indiana has added it to the approved events for sports betting list in that state.
It'll be interesting. I can't wait to check it out.
I just have never heard of
I might become a fan. Who knows?
The European Handball Federation Champions League, the International Handball Federation World Championship.
Now, this is the stuff you can bet on.
Yes.
Is this the stuff you can bet on in Indiana? Okay.
And also you will have top league and domestic cup championships from Denmark, France, Germany, Hungary, Poland, Spain, and Sweden.
Okay.
Obviously, handball is popular there.
And I see all these states. It's those sports that you want to bet on something early Tuesday morning, and it's either soccer or handball or table tennis or darts. If you want to bet something early in the morning in the United States, you bet on something that's happening live in Europe at the time.
So basically, as you're pouring your first cup of coffee, you're betting on.
You want to bet on something, yeah. Handball from Europe.
Well, this past weekend, we had a brand new sport in a variety of states that has never been bet on before.
Okay,
drone racing.
Drone, really?
The Drone Racing League entered into a official sports betting partnership with DraftKings for their season finale races this past weekend.
Okay. Is this allowed in all the states, or
in all the states where DraftKings is?
Okay.
This is the first aerial event that can be bet upon.
Wow, hey, a little history there.
That's a little history with
yeah.
DraftKings. And we'll see exactly whether or not this continues into the following year, but this was for the World Championships of the Drone Racing League of 2020.
Wow, okay.
I know they're holding them in 2021, but I guess it's like the Super Bowl for the NFL where they have it in the following year.
Okay.
But they have actually had a partnership with DraftKings before this. They were doing a free-to-play game for the Drone Racing League during this past the 2020 aerial season, I guess is how you phrase it. DraftKings has reported that they saw a 30% increase in betting on other sporting events based upon this free-to-play game.
Okay.
I don't know how you can actually track that.
Well, hey, look, I know you have these free-to-play games. Sports betting is so new to a lot of people around the country. If you have a free-to-play game, it gets people educated on how to sports bet and what you're looking for with regard to sports betting. And I guess it really, I guess the educated customer is your best customer, so educate them before they're spending real money. So it's a good theory to have. It's a good marketing plan.
Well, we'll see if they actually continue into the 2021 season with drone racing. I actually like watching drone racing. It's very interesting to watch. They're quick races. The amount of neon in a race is just amazing to watch. Shut your lights off while that thing is on the screen, and all you see is the neon flying around. It's a big darkened warehouse kind of situation with an obstacle course, slaloms, all that stuff. And it's actually kind of interesting to watch. If you've never watched one, watch it because it's fun.
I'm definitely going to check it out because, as you know, I renewed my drone operator's license, so I am a drone pilot. So I should check it out. And by the way, I can't maneuver them like what they can.
No.
I can go up, I can go down, and you know what? That's it.
Well, I like I said, it'll be interesting to see if this continues. See how. What the results are from this past weekend in terms of handle that they got from these finals. Two deals really to talk about left here. One in Michigan, and it's between PointsBet and the Detroit Pistons. I hate to say this, but it's almost like the typical deal.
Typical data deal?
It's data plus also data signage, that sort of stuff. But you bring in whoever the local hero is, I guess is what it is right now.
To be your spokesman in the state,
they have
spokesperson in the state?
Former Detroit Piston Rip Hamilton.
Okay, good.
He's going to be the spokesperson for PointsBet in Michigan. They're going to be showing PointsBet visible signage during broadcasts on TV for the Detroit Pistons. You're going to be seeing PointsBet logos everywhere on Pistons.com, the mobile app for the team. All Pistons social channels will have PointsBet branding everywhere. The other one I find more interesting is the Bet Rivers.
Bet Rivers, which one, in Pennsylvania? Is that
all of them?
All of them. Okay.
They have been doing what they're terming the bet with a winner campaign.
All right.
For the Pennsylvania ones, they have Jerome Bettis.
Okay.
This one, I don't think anyone's done this yet. This might be a first of its kind deal because it's between Bet Rivers and a coach.
Okay, a coach. All right.
Coach George Karl.
Oh, sure. Okay, great.
I don't know if any coaches have done this yet. This might be something new.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what coaches have deals or former coaches have deals with sports books. So I can't think of one.
I know players left and right have been doing these, but
former players are all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Coach Karl will be serving as the company's brand ambassador and spokesperson. This is Bet Rivers. And he'll be engaged in upcoming promotions, events on all the Bet Rivers platforms. He's also going to be providing insight and commentary on the NBA.
Great.
Through Bet Rivers social media.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah. And one last little news and note. There's other stuff we haven't been able to get to, but I mentioned Churchill Downs getting Bet America into, Tennessee. There will no longer be Bet America after a while.
Really? Okay, they're going to change their name. Huh?
Bet America will be rebranding to Twin Spires.
All right.
Which is the original online app of Churchill Downs. It was for horse racing.
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing is they are taking the Bet America, which is a casino and a sports book, And what they want to do is merge it with the Twin Spires brand.
Okay.
And it'll be one big platform for horse racing, iGaming, and sports betting. So mid-year, you're going to see Bet America go the way of the dodo, and you'll see Twin Spires everywhere.
Okay.
And that's it for this week's book report. Again, the stories we didn't get to are going to be put on the blog with the stories we did get to. Just head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button, and you'll see these entries up on the blog.
Okay, and that'll do it for us this week. If you're going to one of the newly reopened casinos or sportsbooks, please be safe. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.